Man, it's so easy to look at the guy who built a house on the sand and think, what a fool. I would never do something like that. But the truth is, all of us fall into that trap sometimes, knowing the right thing is what the right thing is to do, but we don't actually do it. Like, maybe you said last week you'd go with your mom to visit your great aunt in the nursing home. It turns out to be a perfect sunny day and you'd rather play ball with your friends next door than sit in a tiny, strange-smelling room in a nursing home. I know how that feels. I mean, think about it. You know that God wants us to be especially kind to people who need our help. But knowing that doesn't change anything unless you actually do something about it and choose, like, to visit your great aunt. Or maybe your teacher forgets to collect electronics before a test, and you can use your iPod Touch to look up answers on the test. You know it's wrong, and that God wants us to be honest, but unless you do something about it and put your iPod away, just knowing that doesn't do anything, and it doesn't make you strong. That's the thing to remember this week. Knowledge and doing what God says makes me strong. And while we've learned a lot about these winter sports this month, the most important thing we've learned is that God knows everything, and when we discover what God says, we can get to know Jesus more and make the wise choice. And when we know what to do, God says, then we get stronger. And who doesn't want to get stronger? I mean, God is so awesome and gives us everything we need to discover more about Him. What's that sound I hear? Yes, I'm afraid it's the sound of closing ceremonies at the K-Town Kids Olympic. But the good news is, that means it's time to award some prizes, all right? So what a month it has been growing in our knowledge of all sports things. And I can hardly wait to start competing in my favorite event. Yep, after all the knowledge I've gained this month, I'm certain I'm going to own the gold medal for the best winter sports Olympic watcher from the sofa. Next up to practice for my second favorite sport, best potato chip eater, watching the Winter Olympics from a sofa. What, you haven't heard of that? Oh my gosh. Alrighty, I'll see y'all later.